Part 1. The man who pulled me from the water. The first time I saw him, he was standing across a crowded dance floor watching me like he already knew how my story ended. At the time, I thought he was just another stranger in a city where nobody knew my name. I had no idea he was the reason I'd run there in the first place, but I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 nights earlier, I left New York with a single suitcase and a passport that still had my father's last name printed across it like a warning label. My father didn't believe in choices. He believed in arrangements, deals, the kind that came with signatures and witnesses and consequences if anyone tried to back out. For months I had listened to him talk about the marriage the way men discuss real estate: strategic, profitable, permanent. Every time I tried to protest, he would smile the way people smile at children who don't understand the world yet. "You'll thank me one day," he told me. But I already knew something he didn't. I wasn't going to be there when the wedding arrived. So I waited. I nodded when he spoke. I smiled when his business friends came over for dinner. I let them believe the obedient daughter was still sitting at the table. Then one Tuesday morning, while the house staff was changing the flowers in the front hall, I walked out the back door with a suitcase and never came back. My only plan was distance. Barcelona felt far enough away to breathe, and Maria lived there. Maria had been my roommate during my semester abroad years earlier. Loud, chaotic, endlessly amused by my ability to get into trouble without ever meaning to. When I showed up at her apartment door unannounced, she stared at the suitcase in my hand and raised one eyebrow. "Please tell me you didn't murder someone," she said. "Not yet," I told her. She laughed and pulled me inside. Maria's apartment sat above a narrow street in the Gothic quarter, where the buildings leaned so close together the sunlight had to squeeze between them like it was late for something. For 2 days I lived like someone who had been underwater too long and had finally reached the surface. Coffee on balconies, long walks by the harbor, crowded markets where no one knew who my father was. It felt like freedom. And before I tell you what happened the night I met him, subscribe to the channel, because the truth about the man who saved me from drowning only gets darker from here. By the 3rd night, Maria decided I needed to celebrate. Her definition of celebration involved a nightclub that didn't really open until midnight. The place pulsed with music and bodies and colored lights that made everyone look slightly unreal. Maria disappeared into the crowd within minutes. I stayed near the bar, nursing a drink and pretending I belonged there. That's when I noticed him. He wasn't dancing. He wasn't talking. He stood near the edge of the room watching everything with the quiet patience of someone who never had to compete for attention. Dark jacket, calm posture, eyes that moved slowly across the crowd until they landed on me. For a moment we just looked at each other. Not flirtation, not curiosity, recognition. Then someone stepped between us, and the moment broke. When I looked again, he was gone. Maria found me 20 minutes later. "You look like someone stole your purse," she said. "Did you see the man by the dance floor?" I asked. "What man?" I turned, scanning the room again. He had vanished completely. Maria followed my gaze. "Oh no," she said with a grin. "You came to Barcelona and the first mysterious man you see already ruined your night." I laughed it off. But later, walking home through the quiet streets, I caught myself glancing over my shoulder more than once. Not because I felt afraid, because part of me wondered if he was still out there somewhere in the city. The next morning, Maria insisted we go to the beach. Barcelona beaches in the afternoon feel like half the city decided work was optional. Music played from portable speakers. Children ran between umbrellas. The water glittered under a sky so bright it almost hurt to look at. I swam farther out than I probably should have. The water felt calm, safe, until the current shifted. It wasn't dramatic at first, just a slow pull away from the shore, then another, and another. Suddenly, the beach looked much farther away than it had a minute earlier. I tried to swim against it. My arms started to burn. A wave pushed water into my mouth and I coughed, swallowing more salt than air. The shore kept drifting away. That was the moment I realized I might actually drown in the middle of a perfectly beautiful afternoon. Then a voice cut through the sound of the water. "Stop fighting it." I turned. The same man from the nightclub was beside me in the water. He moved with calm efficiency, like someone who had done this before. "Float," he said. "I've got you." His arm slid around my waist, steady and strong. For the first time since the current had grabbed me, the panic started to fade. Together we drifted sideways through the water until the pull weakened. Then slowly we swam back toward the shore. When my feet finally touched sand again, I stumbled forward and collapsed onto the beach. The man stood beside me, water dripping from his hair. "You have terrible instincts," he said calmly. I laughed weakly. Thank you for saving my life. You weren't going to drown. That's reassuring. You were going to exhaust yourself and panic, he corrected. Then he offered his hand. Ruben. I hesitated before taking it. Stephanie. He nodded slightly, like the name confirmed something he already suspected. Are you always this dramatic when you visit a new city? He asked. Only when I'm trying to impress strangers. His mouth curved slightly, not quite a smile, more like amusement he hadn't decided to share yet. Maria came running down the beach a few seconds later, breathless. Where did you go? I turned around and you were... She stopped when she saw him. Oh, she said slowly. So this is the mysterious man. Ruben looked between us. Mysterious? He asked. Maria waved a hand. Long story. He turned back to me. Dinner tonight, he said. It wasn't phrased as a question. I should have said no. I had come to Barcelona to disappear, not to let strangers into my life, but something about the way he looked at me made refusal feel impossible. All right, I said, and that was the first mistake.